Today, I'm going to show you how to automate your cold emails using N8N. So you can see here, for example, we have a full workflow that I'm going to guide you through, and I'll give you the free template. In fact, it's inside the AI Money Lab. Just type in cold email agent, boom, you got the JSON down there that you can download and install along with the spreadsheet template. So let's get straight into this. Let me show you exactly how it works. So if we execute the workflow here, what you see is it's getting the lead data from Google Sheets. Then it's going to get the cold email templates from Google, and it's just going to smash out a few cold emails like you can see right here directly from my Gmail. And it's actually easier than it looks to set this up. If you go over to my cold email, if we go back over to my email inbox over here, let's find an example. So if we pull up, this is the email that we just sent literally right now, right? So it works straight away. It's got the name of the recipient, then the cold email template, then it can fire out these. And you can do it for free inside N8N. It's pretty amazing, actually. You can do the whole process for free. There's no part of this that costs you any money. And the reason for that is because you're just using Google Sheets, N8N, which you can actually host locally for free. And then also you can send emails directly from Gmail over here, right? And so the way that this works is essentially, obviously, we have a trigger that sets up the workflow. So we're just testing the workflow. Then it's going to get the rows from this Google Sheet. Now, essentially, the Google Sheet that we're using over here, here's an example. This is the Google Sheet that we're using. And you see we've got our names and our emails over here. These are my personal emails, obviously. But that just gives you an example. And then over here, we have the templates for the actual cold emails that we're going to send. So essentially, what we're doing over here is we are taking the Google Sheets account. This is a sheet, getting the row, and then you're going to take it from the list, which is the lead sheet, right? So this is a list, and you can easily just go to the AI Money Lab, click on the spreadsheet template, go to File, then go to Make a Copy, and then just make your own, right, and connect it to N8N. If you're not sure how to connect your own Google Sheets account, then all you do is you click on the edit button over here, and you just sign in with Google. Right, really simple and easy. So essentially what this does is it takes the information from the Google Sheet, takes the leads details, and then we're good to go from there. You can see it's pulled in like the email addresses over here, right, based on the send set status and everything else. The top class says, when are you dropping the Notebook LM 5-hour course on YouTube? It's already on YouTube if you actually search 5-hour course, Julian Goldie Notebook LM. You'll see it on there completely for free. And now what you're going to see over here is that it's going to take the information from the spreadsheet. So, for example, it's got the row number, the name, the email, the sent status, and the time. And what it's doing is it's set up some routing rules, right? So if, for example, the send status on the spreadsheet is sent, it's not going to send an email to that address, right? It's going to put no email sent. If it is equal to sent, right? If the send status is equal to that, then it will mark it as sent. So you can see here on the spreadsheet, we've got sent marked on the spreadsheet here. And that just basically sends it out to this person, right? So if I add a little dot here, we can test it out on the next example. So essentially, we've got a Google Sheet over here. Then we're running that through a switch, and then we're going to loop over the items, right? So you can see here that we're just looping these over because we've got multiple items to send email addresses to, right? So we're batching through the spreadsheet, we're sending that over, etc. Now, once we're going to do that, it's going to loop around multiple times. So depending on how many items you have in the spreadsheet, you can just set a batch size here. So you could say, right, okay, I want to send 1,000 cold emails at a time. I want to send 200 cold emails. I wouldn't recommend that because you probably get blocked. But if you wanted to, you could theoretically, right? So we've got the Google Sheet with the leads details. That's going to switch over here. We're going to loop that over here. And then what you can see is this is going to get the rows from the spreadsheet. So it's going to get the email address and everything else. And it's also, this is the most important part, is it's going to take the email templates from the lead sheet, which is in sheet 2. Okay, so if we have a look over sheet 2 here, we've got our subject lines on the left-hand side in column A. We have the body on the right-hand side, right? So essentially, we've got fire inbox, AI handles everything, delete admin chaos. And what we can do with these is we can fill this out with whatever name we're using. We've got the name of whoever you're sending the email from at the bottom, right? And then you can just add in your own template here. So really simple and easy to set up. You can actually just plug these into ChatGPT as well. And like if you want to, automate or get some more cold email templates, you can just say, okay, give me maybe 20 Hormozy style email templates that rewrite these, right? And then you can actually get ChatGPT to rewrite all the email templates that you have. You've got your own email agent. You can even, for example, like personalize that to the email addresses that you're using or company details inside the spreadsheet, etc. Really easy and simple. And then you've got all your templates that you could plug back into your spreadsheet if you wanted to, right? So for example, I could take that and then I could go to the lead sheet. I can take those in like so. We can do the next one. So let's have a look here. What we got? Yeah, let's take that one. All right. And then we can get another email template over here. So basically, you can personalize the email templates as much as you want, and you just plug them into the spreadsheet like so. The same with the subject lines here. You can say, okay, give me 30 subject lines that are curiosity driven, etc., and then just run through these. So this is really good for an AI automation agency. These templates right here, but you could use them for anything. Like you could switch these around and focus on a local lead gen agency or whatever you're doing, right? And so essentially, that's going to take the information from the spreadsheet, get the row, get the canned templates. Then you're going to see these right here. It's broken it down into the row number, the subject, and the body, right? And then it's got the line breaks and everything else inside there. Boom. Now, finally, what we're going to do is we're going to code that out. Now, the way that we code this out is we have some JSON that just takes the subject and the body line, breaks it out. The reason that we want to take the subject and the body line here and code it out with the templates is because we're going to merge that together over here, like you can see, and then we're going to send out those emails in a second. All right. And so just to recap so far, we've got the rows in the spreadsheet with the leads. We switch that over. We send that to a Google Sheet to get the canned templates. With the templates for the cold emails, we merge them all together like so, and then we edit the fields, right? So here, this just edits the fields using the JSON. So for example, the body, like so. And it filters out so that you have the subject line, the body, and it sends it to the specific row number. And then from here, we send a message. So I'm using my email address here. You can edit this and add whatever you want, right? So if you click on edit, sign in with Google, boom, you can just one-click sign in with whichever email address you want to use. Ms. Barr says, great, happy to help you, mate, and I hope this is helping. And then from here, we've got the merger. We edit the fields manually, right? And then this is going to merge in two ways. So number one is going to send a message and loop that over. So for example, here we've got the email mapped out, right? So it's got the credentials to connect with, the resource message, operation send, right? So basically it's going to send an email message via the email that we've connected. Then it's going to grab the JSON of the email, which is, my email address over here. It's going to take the subject line and it's going to write this in HTML, which means that the body line is going to be formatted nicely. So it takes the JSON body, which is this JSON over here. And we've done that using the edit field section, right? So if we go back to the edit field section, that's broken down the subject, body, etc., and just organized it neatly. And then from here, we have the message as well. All right. And that's going to loop over several times depending on how many emails we have in the sheet, right? So for example, if we go back to our sheet in section 1 over here and we put, okay, we want to send an email to Jimmy. And then we're going to send an email to Jack Johnson. Right. And then we're just going to merge that information together, right? So we take all the inputs from input 1 and 2 over here. So this is a merge field. We merge it together like so, and then we append it to a spreadsheet like you can see right here, right? This just updates the spreadsheet, basically tells us when it was, what it was sent as. So it will label it as sent, the email that it's going to use to match, the time, etc. It's just going to basically update the spreadsheet so that we have sent over here, right? That way, when we're sending the emails, we know which ones we've sent and which ones we've not. Because imagine if you had like 1,000 contacts on this list. Obviously, you want to gradually go through them and make sure that you know which ones you've sent to and which ones you haven't. So it's a beautiful automation, works really well. And then it's going to finally log the status. And you see this is separated into getting the lead data, getting the email templates, and then logging the status and looping over each row of the spreadsheet. So for example, here, you could add multiple emails if you wanted to, and then we can execute the workflow like so. That's going to flip it around, right? So you can see it's waiting now over here to send the next one. And that's successfully sent the emails, right? So now if we go to send over here, you can see that it sent another email. Hi, John, you can bet it's hustle 8 hours. AI chatbot handles, all whilst you sleep, want me to set up, 7 days free, blah, blah, blah. Pretty easy and simple to do that, right? So essentially that's how it works. And if you want to know how to get the template for this, if you want your own free cold email machine, like you see here using N8N, again, you're not paying for Google Sheets, you're not paying for Gmail, you're not even going to pay for the template because I'm going to give it away for you for free inside the AI Money Lab. And all you need to do is you go over here to the resources, you download that bad boy, you got the JSON, and then if you want to just import this, you can just go to create workflow, import like so, so import from file, open up the JSON, boom shakalaka, that's ready to go, right? And then you just connect all your details right here. So the Google Sheets. So you want to connect your details personally here, 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 and then also in the Gmail. And then everything else is done for you, right? And you just make sure as well that you grab the spreadsheet template like so. You go to File, make a copy yourself. Don't try and use mine because, you know, everyone's going to be trying to use this. And that's basically how it goes. Daniel says, top of the morning, mate. Happy to see you, Daniel. Legend. You're such a sweetheart, bro. No, you're always giving out great value for free. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. I'm always trying to help as much as I can, you know. That's what we're about here. So you can easily import this template over here. You've got all the details like so. You don't need to pay for any cold email software anymore. And that's pretty much it. If you do want to see me create like a AI agent that actually personalizes the emails based on the data, let me know and I can probably help you with that. If you want to see how to actually scrape leads, let me find here. Well, so inside the AI Money Lab, which is the free group, right? If you type in scraper, like so, you'll see a video tutorial that shows you exactly how to scrape leads yourself for free as well, right? So you can use Appify to do this. I've got a whole training on it right here. In 10 minutes, you'll know exactly how to set this up yourself. And then that can actually scrape the leads for you as well, which means like, you know, if you're a local business, you're trying to scrape leads off Google Maps or whatever, you can easily do that using this process as well. So really easy. Mukesh says, is it a type of AI agent to make AI agents? So I'm working on something like that in the background that I'll get back to you on. So if you want to see that, just make sure you subscribe because when the video actually comes out, you'll definitely want to see that. But yeah, working on something very interesting in the background that's going to blow everyone's minds when it comes to AI agents and that sort of thing. Yeah. So essentially, I've shown you how to set up the automation, how to get the JSON file, how to get the spreadsheet, how to even scrape the leads in the first place if you don't have them. Another way to get the leads, if you don't know how to get them, is you can go over to GenSpark, and then inside GenSpark, if we go to the home here, you can go to AI Sheets, right? And AI Sheets is pretty good if you just grab in loads of data in terms of like email addresses and that sort of thing, right? So you can say, for example, okay, give me a leads list with emails of white label SEO agencies I could sell to, right? And basically what GenSpark will do is GenSpark will actually start scouring through the web, finding email addresses of relevant agencies that I can actually sell to, right? And it's specifically going to find leads related to this, right? And you see how it's building out this spreadsheet on autopilot. So it's got the company name, the website, the email, the phone, location, etc. So if you don't want to use N8N to find the leads for you, then you can use a process like this. Really simple and easy. Prime says, call me Prime. That makes sense. That does make sense, my friend. And then from here, we're going to gradually get all the details, right? So you can see how it's scouring the web, and it's like, right, I'm going to extract contact information from the most promising white label SEO agencies I found, including email, phone numbers, contact information, etc. And then it's going to start going through here and doing this, right? It's just scouring through the web, that sort of thing. Now, whilst waiting for that, what I'll actually do is inside the AI Profit Boardroom, I actually have an offer where, like, basically every day you get a daily Q&A, right? So if you post a question inside the AI Profit Boardroom, I'll get back to you with an answer and just answer your questions as you go along, right? So recently, for example, we had this AI GIF challenge, super active community, by the way, like 43 comments on this post from 2 days ago. And then you can see here, like, people are posting all sorts of interesting stuff. I actually got back to Matt recently, but essentially I think he got hit for something on YouTube, but he's working on it, and I gave him a few solutions on that. Basically, what I would say is, if you ever get hit on a YouTube channel and you see like your content's not going out to the right people, whatever, you can always set up a new channel and then just see, okay, is it YouTube and the algorithm, or is it just me? Another one, Martiem was posting about a full AI content pipeline. So basically, if you want to build this, what you can actually do is you can actually use this automation right here inside the AI Profit Boardroom that shows you how I actually use this Twitter automation to get a lot of reach using this process, and actually gives you the prompt and everything else step by step. So that's really cool as well. Then what else we got here? So Alex was saying, is anyone in the self-publishing industry? What tools do you use, right? So I actually used to have a audiobook business in the past, and it actually is still running in the background today. I don't even know how to log in, but we still generate a lot of sales through that. I think we sold like 35,000 ebooks through this business. And basically, if I was to start again, right, if I was to start all over again with a publishing business, what I think you could actually do is you could automate the writing. We have an ebook automation inside the AI Profit Boardroom. We have the editing process as well inside there, and then also you could easily automate the narration with 11 Labs if you wanted to. You just got to make sure that it sounds very, very natural, right? And the people that you're not churning out AI slot, basically. And then Nora was asking about an N8N template to find local businesses. So we actually have one inside the scraper section that I was talking you through earlier. So if you go to N8N scraper agent inside the AI Profit Boardroom, scroll down and you'll find the JSON file that you can just import into N8N right here, right? And that will allow you to scrape like, literally, I think I scraped like 500 leads in like 2 minutes with one click. It was absolutely insane. So that's basically how you can do this whole process, how it works step by step, etc. I hope to see you inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If you haven't checked it out already, basically you get a ton of stuff here. So if I walk you through what you get, for example, all my best automations on like how to get more leads, my proven strategies to generate AI avatar videos, and also some of my best automations in terms of like unlimited tech support. You get 5 weekly live coaching calls. We actually give you a lot of giveaways as well. And inside the classroom here, you can see all my best teachings here. So like, for example, we've got a 6-week AI automation masterclass. We have my crash course on AI over here. We have, for example, N8N templates, etc. So loads of cool stuff inside there. And then if you ever get stuck, you can post inside the community or just jump on the weekly live course, right? So that's basically how it works step by step. That's how to use the N8N template. You can get the actual template itself for free inside the AI Money Lab. Link in the comments description. And I hope to see you in there, my friends. Mukesh says, so I have a question about this. So we're going to see AGI in 2026. What do you think? I think, like, we're already at the point where we've got AGI, right? So like, for example, all these, like, if you look at GenSpark can work faster and do better than most people out there, right? So for example, whilst I've been talking to you, it's found a bunch of email addresses, it's found a bunch of leads, etc., that I could sell white label link building to, and it just went off and did that way faster than an employee. An employee would have to probably spend like an hour doing that, and then you'd have to give them access to the tools and like mess around training them and then quality control them, etc. It'd be very, very messy, right? It'd be messy and it'd be nasty. And so if you use this process instead, if you're using, like, for example, GenSpark, it's a super agent, right? It's just typing away whilst I'm talking to you. And so I would say we're already at the point where we've got AGI, and this is the worst it will ever be. This is the worst it will ever be, right? So that's basically how it works. And also, if you ever want AI automation services, if you want to become a client, for example, and you want to hire us to do AI automation for you, then feel free to book in a free AI automation session. Typically, most of our automations are about, I would say, $2,000 to $5,000 if you want to hire us to do it. But basically, we'll look at where you spend your time. We'll build out the systems personalized to you, and then from here, we'll go off and implement it. Daniel Parker says, "Is that free?" So GenSpark, I think they have a freemium option where you get like a bunch of free credits per month, and then if you use too many, then it runs out. And Tabo says, "Would you still recommend venturing into affiliate?" So yeah, I mean, like for me, I still do a lot of affiliate, right? Like, and we make. Still make a lot of sales through affiliate, so it still works. We actually have a lot of training on affiliate stuff inside the SEO Elite Circle community if you want to check that out. And then also, if you check out the AI Profit Boardroom inside the classroom here, a lot of the automations inside this section you can actually use to generate affiliate sales, right? So for example, like the Twitter automation, news alert automation, that's perfect for affiliate. You've got AI avatar videos, like all this stuff you could use to generate affiliate. So still works really well. And then Vivek says, "I made basic HTML and Google AI Studio." Awesome. Congrats. Daniel says, "Dope, TY, happy to help, mate." And then Vivek says, "I made slide generation HTML code with using Gemini 2.5 and AI Studio manually, but image didn't arrange in the way that I want to." I actually, to be honest, like if you want the nicest reports, use GenSpark for generating. By the way, look at this. It's already generated 18 leads on the spreadsheet with email addresses and phone numbers. How crazy is that? But yeah, if you want, Vivek, a really good sort of AI agent for automating workflows, then I would recommend that you use GenSpark and you use the presentation version, right? Really good for that. So I appreciate everyone watching. I will see you on the next one. If you want to see more N8N templates and that sort of thing, just let me know in the comments. Happy to help. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.